We see in this episode that Star is in critical condition, and a whole lot of drama happens around this ASA nomination party. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to KRS TV. This is your boy Kenny, and this is Star Season 3, Episode 13, and the name of this episode is The Reckoning. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode, and again, I'm sorry this review is late. I did mention my reasons in my Empire review, so definitely check that out. But here we go. The episode opens up, and I was tickled pink when I watched this scene. Cassie is at the table, and we see that Maurice is up behind her, and he is sexing her down, and it was like Cassie was having like a herbal essence moment. Yes, yes, yes. And then all of a sudden it comes back to she was having a fantasy, and Maurice was like, "You good?" That had me rolling. I'm like, so she is feeling Maurice, but she's not trying to take it there because she knows that Maurice used to mess with Carlotta. And they talk about, they talk about the ASA party at Karma, and he asks her about her father, and he was like, well, he's breathing, unfortunately. And, they give a hug, and she, and we can definitely see that there is some chemistry there between Cassie and Maurice, because they both are go-getters, and I have to say they're more in sync than he was with Carlotta. I definitely see that there's some real chemistry there between the two of them. And they also talk about them taking down, Xander, and them trying to, get, Mateo to and pretty much, trying to help Mateo, because this can all fall back on Carlotta with Xander being involved. So afterwards, she gets a hug, and she pretty much makes a call. She gets a call, and it's the people, and she's trying to track down Carlotta's baby, the whereabouts, because remember in the last episode, Calvin, her father, slipped and said that, the baby I had with Carlotta, he didn't die, he's still alive. So she's now talking to, I think, a private investigator to find out what is the truth. Is there a birth certificate and a death certificate? We need to know something. So then we see Alex and Derek are having a moment. They're talking about Gigi, because we saw in the last episode Gigi's Aunt Jenny had killed herself at Karma. And also she's dealing with her mother going through rehab, and she's going to be there to help her mother through therapy, but she really doesn't want to deal with it because it's just been this long going, problem between her and her mother, because her mother was pretty much drunk and she had to take care of her mother at an early age. And he says that, that whole situation with Gigi was kind of reminiscent of how my mother would be out drunk in front of the press and I had to take control. And then also they're watching television and they're laying in bed together, and I have to say, Derek, baby, I ain't mad at you, honey, because Derek was looking good. And next thing you know, on the TV, there's about the ASA nominations, and they talk about Alex and Noah's song "So Sick," and of course this kind of bothers it bothers Derek, because this is around the time that he caught the two of them getting it on with each other backstage, and it just kind of took him back to that place. And she was saying that, are you gonna be okay with me and Noah working together? He's like, yeah, it's all good, but I'm not gonna lie, it's not fun for me, but I know at the end of the day it's business. And then he also lets her know, you're the one to beat. That's the one thing they said right, you are the one to beat. So we get to the house, Carlotta's house, and they're playing my song by Elisa Myers, Thank You, classy tune, Bum, dum, 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 bum, bum, bum. I was like, okay. I was grooving like, I wanna thank you Heavenly Father. I was like, okay, I'm here for it. So they got their little move set, and they're throwing a welcome back party for Star, but they don't know what really happened. And we see that finally Carlotta's come back, and I think she had took some time, because she had in real life Queen Latifah had lost her mother, Rita Owens. So rest in peace to Rita Owens yet again. I used to love it when Rita Owens would make her appearances on Living Single back in the day. So yeah, I definitely know losing her mother took a lot out of her, and her and her mother were very close. So now we're seeing that Carlotta's now back, from her trip in Miami. They all happy because Star's, being released and she's going to be back home. And, and in the scene, you got Miss Bruce, Alex, Simone, and Carlotta, and they're in good spirits. But little do they know that Star has been badly beaten and pretty much left for dead. There was another prisoner who was mopping the floor, who found Star, and then Star just kind of comes to, was like, help me. So we know she's alive, but she is badly beaten. I'm like, but this was done because Charlene had a chick in the prison fuck Star up. And Star being not a punk bitch, she was kind of like fighting for a good minute, but old girl was probably in there for life. So she ain't got shit to lose, and her killing Star ain't shit. So she really fucked Star up really bad. So then we get a scene, Noah, Megan finally comes back, Noah's girlfriend and also Maurice's ex-wife. He's staying at Star's house looking after the baby. So that's where he's been staying the whole time. But Megan can definitely tell something ain't right with Noah, but Noah, what he normally does, passes off like, oh, I'm good, everything is great. So then we get a scene with Mateo, and I think her name is Giselle, who's played by Zulay Huneo, who is known as Esperanza on If Loving You Was Wrong. I definitely love her character in the show. So she's actually his first love. And, they're, pretty much sexing it up and everything, giving a whole bunch of foreplay. And she was saying that, yeah, you're saying you're free, but yet you're still walking around with your wedding ring. And he was like, oh, it's just for appearances. But I've already filed the divorce papers, so I'm about to be free. And then the next thing you know, they were about to get it in, where he was about to go downtown. That's the place that he's been dreaming of, and he ends up getting a call, and it's about the investors, so he ends up leaving. So therefore, it's a board meeting with Mateo and Carlotta, and the investors. They want to pull out, due to Mateo's, gambling addiction and all of that, and pretty much Carlotta literally tells him that, look, this ASA party is going to be huge, and it's really going to take Gravity Media as well as Gravity Records to another level. But it's like, we like you, Cookie, but we're not investing our money in him no more, because obviously he don't know how to manage the books. So all the investors leave and pull out. So just like that, Gravity Media as well as Gravity Records is cash poor. So they got to get some money coming in, or the whole business can tank. Gravity Media as well as Gravity Records, because they're all connected. And while her and Mateo are talking, Carlotta gets a call from Simone, and of course Simone's frantic because she now knows about Star being attacked in jail and that she's in the hospital. So then we get the scene at the hospital. Carlotta, Alex, and Simone are there to look after, to find out what's going on with Star. They let her know that that she suffered hypertension due to her being beaten very badly, and because there was no brain activity, they put her in a medically induced coma. And Simone just freaks out and everything, and they trying to calm Simone down, but Simone's like, because they won't let them back there yet because it's too crucial, and not until they have her stabilized will they be able to see her. So then after that, we get a scene. Cassie's on the phone still getting info about Carlotta's baby, and that motherfucking Xander comes behind her with a plastic bag and begins to suffocate her. Later on, we find out that not only did he do that, he actually beat her up very badly and kind of just left her there to fend for herself. But I'm gonna get to that. So then we get at the hospital. Simone and Carlotta have a moment. Carlotta's been getting texts left and right because so much is going on, and she was like, she's like, if you gotta go, you can go ahead. And Carlotta's like, I'm not leaving you. She was like, no, I can stay here and fight for my sister here. You go out there and fight, so therefore when Star gets better, she has a place to perform at the ASAs. So make that happen. So then we saw that go down. Then we get a scene between Bruce and Noah. Bruce is checking up on Noah, and he also gives him the news about Star and everything. So of course, Noah's actually, definitely hurt to hear about this with Star, because he's still got a place in his heart for her. And of course, they have a child together. So pretty much, Bruce was asking, how you been doing with your recovery? Has there been any setbacks? And he was like, you need to, need some information about some AA meetings. He's like, oh no, I'm good. I'm not gonna mess this up. My son needs me. And let's just say things really take a turn for the worse down the line. I'm gonna get there. So then, at the hospital, we see that finally Noah shows up. Carlotta's there with Alex. I'm sorry, my bad. Boop, 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 boop. Retract that. What happens after that scene between Miss Bruce and Noah is in a meeting at Gravity Records with Carlotta, Alex, and Gigi. And we can definitely see that Gigi is still going through the aftermath of her aunt Jenny committing suicide. And we just see that she's just over it. But Carlotta tells them that her and Mateo have decided, instead of the ASA party being a private party, they're gonna make it a public arena where the fans can buy tickets to it. We have to turn this into an event, and there are tickets available to pay for, so we got to make a bunch of money. And then she also says, "Are you down with you and Noah performing So Sick?" And Alice kind of airs her grievances that, look, I'm not trying to be unprofessional, but Derek's been having some issues with it. And then all of a sudden, that damn Gigi starts going after Alex yet again, saying that, man, ain't nobody got time about this hoe and her silver spoon problems. Fuck that shit. And she's like, why you keep coming for me? She's like, I'm coming for every damn body. So Carlotta, I gotta get the hell up out of here. But if she can't get it together, leave it to the professionals. I'm out. And Carlotta lets Alex know, like, look, right now she's grieving. Anybody can get it, so don't take it personal. So then we get a scene between Cotton. Cotton is, I think, coming out of Karma, because now she works there at Karma with Cassie. We see that this dude who's roughing up this woman. We come to find out she actually knows the guy. His name is Leon, and he's her former pimp. And Leon is a nasty motherfucker. He's like, oh, so she pretty much, pulls a knife on him and lets him know, like, what the hell you think you doing? And he was like, nah, she's one of my girls. She's a unicorn just like you. Meaning she's trans. And we just see that this damn Leon is a nasty, evil motherfucker. And he says that, you owe me everything, right? I'm the one that gave you your name. So he's the one that gave her the nickname Cotton. And then all of a sudden, she pretty much tells him, and then she's like, and then we see the other girl that he was beating up. She's like, give me my money, daddy. And Cotton was like, give her damn money. He gives her the money or whatever. And then he says that, oh yeah, I'm gonna make you pay for this. And then he kind of does the gun to both of them. And Cotton tells old girl, like, look, I'm not telling you what to do with your body, but you need to stay the hell away from Leon, because Leon's bad news. And she tells her thank you. But that shit's gonna come back later. So I'm like, that Leon gotta go. Leon has got to fucking go. I'm gonna get to that. So then we see that Carlotta finally gets to Cassie. Cassie ain't been responding, but she lets herself in and finds Cassie bruised and beat up after her altercation with Xander. And then, like, she was like, does Xander do this to you? She's like, yeah. And she was like, look, he was trying to double cross Mateo, so I tried to stop it, because I didn't want it to affect anything you're trying to do. And she's like, he just won't stop tearing me down. And she was like, oh no, he's never gonna do this to you again, because I'ma kill his ass. Yeah, so they got a long history with Xander and his bullshit. So we get a scene with in the hospital. Simone is there. Noah shows up. Star's in a coma. And then the baby's out there with Megan. So Simone goes out there to meet up with Megan to get little Davis. And then we see that Noah and Star have a moment where Noah has a moment with Star, and he's saying that I miss your crazy ass. You the toughest girl I know. I know you can do this. And he kind of airs his grievance that I'm taking care of the baby, but I'm trying to be strong and trying to do everything I can, but inside I feel like nothing, and I need you. I need you to be there to help us raise our son. I could do it on my own, but I don't think I can pull it. I don't think I can be the best father without you being there. So it was a really deep moment that he had with Star, and he tells Star, like, to wake up. So then we get a scene. So then it goes back to Cassie and Carlotta. Maurice is trying to call Cotton. Maurice is trying to call Cassie, about the whole ASA party plans. Carlotta answers the phones, and they don't let him up, because she tells Carlotta, I don't want Maurice to see me like this. So, but then she gives Carlotta gives Cassie some encouraging words that, look, you're trying to go legit. Now you know how hard that is for the family we came from. Yeah, because their family is a criminal enterprise. That Miss Christine don't play with her mean ass. But then she tells Cassie, you keep doing what you're doing and you don't let Xander win. So then we get a scene between Simone, Baby Davis, and they come in with Star, and they have like this little duet scene about fighting for life and everything. And then the next thing you know, we see that that Star starts coding, so therefore, there is some brain activity, but she's still in a coma. So they had that go on. Then we get a scene between Mateo and Carlotta. When Carlotta finds out about Mateo's involvement with Xander, she immediately came in here and was like, you mean to tell me you doing business with this dirty son of a bitch Xander? Are you out of your damn mind? And he was like, look, I got it under control. Everything's good. She's like, no, you need to understand that Xander is a monster and he's a virus. You really don't know him as well as you think you do. But then he says that, look, Gravity Media was having some financial problems. I turned to him as an investor. And she was like, oh shit. He's coming at you to get to me. Do you know I have a whole long history with Xander and he's threatened my family and all of that? She was like, you know what? You need to stop this shit, You need to stop this shit, Mateo. You need to get back to your roots, because that hustler is what got you here, not these damn investors. So you need to get back to your roots, or have you forgotten about that? So I was like, she gave him some encouraging words that he need to get back to being who he is and stop relying on these investors who obviously are not loyal to you. And we already see, and then he also mentions to Carlotta that he's threatened his family too, because we saw in the last episode he threatened to kill his uncle, and he's very close with his uncle. So yeah, so now Mateo and Carlotta are seeing eye to eye, and I'm loving how he's dealing with Carlotta now, because earlier in the season he was really giving Carlotta the blues, but after that success of Rhythm and Bells, and it was her idea to put Alex on the stage, Alex killed it, and now Gravity Media as well as Gravity Records is in a higher place. Because remember when Maurice was trying to pitch Gigi and trying to get a job at the label, he let him know off the bat, Gravity Records is Carlotta. You need to talk to her. So he has a higher level of respect for Carlotta, and I'm happy to see it. So therefore, we see that Alex is rehearsing So Sick by herself. Derek walks in and he was like, "You rehearsing alone?" And she was saying that, "Look, I know you feel some kind of way about it," but then he was like, "Hold on. You came here to Atlanta to chase your dreams. I'll be damned am I going to get in the way of that." And I was like, see, that's a good man right there. I'm so team Derek. Because he understands that, yeah, y'all, we had a setback, but we back together now. And I'm not going to stop you from handling your business and chasing your dreams. So, yeah, you and Noah, y'all have a hit. Y'all being nominated for an ASA. Y'all need to do the damn thing. And then he's saying that, I'm going to marry you one day. So that was a beautiful moment. I was like, see, Derek's my boy. I love me some Derek. And Derek was looking good. Yes, Derek is a snack, honey. So it is what it is. But yeah, I love that scene. That was cute. So then we get a scene with Cassie and Maurice. Maurice done got his ass up in there. And he was like, look, I'm not here as a business associate or business partner. I'm here as your friend. What's going on with you? So we kind of see that Maurice has kind of caught feelings for Cassie as well. And she shows him her bruises, and he's like, "Oh my God, that he did that to you?" And he's like, "You know what?" And he was like, "Yeah." And she tells him that, "I just can't believe he continues to beat me up like I'm some weak bitch." And he was like, "Don't you ever say no shit like that about yourself. I know how strong you are." And he's like, "You know what? As long as I'm around, I'm never gonna let that son of a bitch put his hands on you again. You're enough." And I was like, oh, so you are catching feelings for Miss Cassie. So it's both ways. So I'm like, we're going to see how that's going to play out. So then we see that Noah is with the baby up in Star's house. We see the pills on the table. David starts crying. And he's having issues, because it's a newborn. So he's trying to get the baby to calm down, but little Davis is still fussy, as newborn babies are. He tries to call his father Bobby, but there's no answer. So then he sits the baby down, and the baby's still crying, and he just gets frustrated, and he goes to the oxycodone, and he pops 2 pills. And the next thing you know, we see that damn Noah done created a whole damn mess, and I'm gonna get there. So then we see that Carlotta, Alex, and Simone. Carlotta is praying, and we know that Alex has issues with God and religion. Carlotta lets him know that if it wasn't for God, Derek would have never got out that chair, or you would have never survived that plane accident. The thing is, we hold on to God because life can change in a blink, and it's only God that'll get us through. And I was like, amen, Carlotta. Yes. So then we see that Carlotta goes to meet up with Cassie again. And that whole situation definitely set something in her. And she's like, "You know what, Cassie? I just came back from Star. She's been beaten and she's in the hospital. That could be your ass right now." And she's like, and then of course, she was saying that he ain't gonna beat on me no more. And then Carlotta's like, "Oh, so you gonna forgive his ass again?" She's like, "No, not this time." She's like, "I want a new beginning. I'm tired of looking over my shoulder. I'm gonna go confront him and end this once and for all." And Carlotta says, "Name the time and the place, and I will be there with you." And then all of a sudden, we see she puts back her signature toothpick. Cassie about to go fuck some shit up. So I'm like, all right, Cassie, let's get it. So then we get the ASA nomination party at Karma. We see that Mateo and Giselle are talking. He's got some new investors. I think they're called the Jamilio brothers, who were of, Latin and Mexican descent. So therefore, he went back to his roots, as Carlotta said. Go back to your roots and find your people to invest in you, and stop trying to find people outside of you to buy in. And we see he's on the thing with Giselle, and him and Giselle are, still flirting with each other back and forth. And he admits that, I took Carlotta's advice. And Giselle's like, well, Carlotta's a smart woman. Then when they first get there, we see that Alex is on the red carpet and the press is asking her questions and they're taking pictures. Then Gigi goes up there. The press immediately start talking about her Aunt Jenny, about her aunt committing suicide, and they just start coming left and right. And Gigi just can't take the pressure, and Alex is watching from a distance. Gigi can't take it and ends up running off into the dressing room. Alex goes in there and follows her, and her and Gigi have a heart-to-heart moment where, Gigi was like, and then Alex was like, I should have never recorded that thing with you and your aunt. And she was saying that, please, everybody knew about my aunt and how she got down. Trust me, that was nothing compared to what we went through back in the day. But then she's like, but when my aunt killed herself, it killed a part of me too. I can't believe she never knew how much I loved her. She was like my own mother to me. And I'm like, see, the thing is, you and Alice got more in common than you realize, because she has a toxic relationship with her mother, just like Gigi had a toxic relationship with her aunt, who was her mother figure. And they kind of have a heart-to-heart moment, and I'm like, that's what's up, because they both need each other at this point. As much as they are at odds with each other, they do need one another, because they both are dealing with some very hard situations involving their mother figures in their lives. So therefore, then we get a scene with that damn Noah. Noah is high as a damn kite. The baby's crying. The baby, he goes to put a bottle on the stove to heat it up. This fool leaves the towel on the stove. Next thing you know, out of nowhere, this fool passes out, and there's a fire, and the baby's crying his head off. And I'm like, damn Noah. Because I really want to root for Noah, because Noah at the heart is a good guy, but Noah has a lot of, he pretty much is an addict, so he has these tendencies to fall back into the same traps. I mean, I for one, I understand it, because I've had issues, in my life, and I understand it. But the thing about Noah is that he represents a problem with a lot of us black men, and I'm talking about no other than toxic masculinity. When people are trying to help you, instead of you admitting you need help, you put on this big old Superman motherfucking posterior, and it's like, I don't need no help, I'm good, I got this shit, knowing damn well you don't. And because of his toxic masculinity, he has now put him and his baby in danger, because a fire starts, and he's knocked out, the baby's crying his head off. Simone comes in and puts out, extinguishes the fire, and then all of a sudden we see, after Simone comes in, Megan comes in, and she pretty much tells Megan, you know what, you need to get your drug ass boyfriend some fucking help. But one thing is not gonna happen, he is not gonna take down my nephew with him with his bullshit. I'm taking the baby and he's going with me. And I'm like, bruh, this is not cute. And then finally, Noah came to, and Megan was there, and she was like, you know what? You just almost killed your son by you being negligent. And he's like, please, I love you, I love you. She says, I love you too. But me loving you cannot stop me. But me loving you is not going to stop you from being an addict. Only you can do that. But she's like, I can't do this anymore. She's like, I lost a child, and here it is, you almost killed yours, being negligent and being irresponsible. So here it is, that damn Noah lost his child and lost his girl. And I'm just like, Noah, you need to get it together. Stop this toxic masculinity shit and admit that you're a man who needs help, and let people help you. So that was real, and I'm glad they showcased that, because it's an issue in our community that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be dealt with on a much higher level. All right, so I talked about that. So therefore, we see that at the ASA nomination party, Cotton is the head of security. All of a sudden, she hears a bang on one of the side doors. She comes out. There's a salon of trans girls that are working under Leon. Leon done fucked up every single one of them. And one of the girls is Toni Bryce. Shout out to Toni Bryce. She's actually an actress on Raheem Brazil's web series called Twisted. And as soon as I saw Toni, I was like, oh shit, look at Toni. I was like, so yeah, shout out to Toni Bryce. She actually had a guest role on Star, and I was like, that's what's up. But all of them have come to Cotton because Cotton was one of the girls that got away, and they are looking to Cotton to help free them from the wrath of Leon. And I'm like, Leon, you about to fucking get it, because you have no idea the type of criminal circle that Cotton has. She got her grandma Christine, and she got her Aunt Cassie, and also her mother. Leon is about to get fucked up in the worst way. And yeah, Leon need to go, because Leon's an evil bastard. And he obviously takes pleasure in abusing trans women. And I, for one, trans women are a part of my community. No. I stand for them as well. So yeah, take Leon's ass out. Take him out now. So then we get a scene between Cassie and Xander. You know, she's like, we need to talk. And he says, I think we had a discussion yesterday. And she pulls up her glasses like, well, today's a different day. He's like, look, you forced my hand. What can I say? You know, you and your family made me this way. And she's like, you know what? I loved you. I loved you even more than my own family. He's like, boo-boo, don't even flip that shit. Because you know you only care about nothing but you don't care about nothing but yourself. You know, and he pretty much, he says that I've been in love with you when I was 16 years old. You know, your mom had me running drugs for her and everything. You know, I loved you. I really loved you. And then she was like, dude, you ain't even a real man, because you can't even admit your shit. I never did anything for you to beat on me. I never did anything to you for you to put me down and to make me hate myself. This was your way of keeping control over me. But that day ends the day because yeah, you know, I ratted your ass out to the feds. They know everything. And your ass ain't never going to be the head of AA, because they're going to lock your ass up and you're going to be in jail for the rest of your motherfucking life. I'm done. And he's like, well, he's like, oh, so you ratted me out, huh? You snitched. I thought you never snitched. She says that only applies to family, and your ass ain't never been family. I'm like, okay, Cassie, get your life back. Get your life back. And then the next thing you know, he's like, nobody's gonna take me, because he pulled out a gun too, and she had a gun out on him. When he got close, she's like, back up, bitch. You ain't getting close to me to put your hands on me no more. So after she leaves, she left and had the gun at her back and was ready that if he tried any damn thing, she was ready to take his ass out. So she walks out, and then all of a sudden he's like, nobody takes me down. Nobody takes me down. And then you see he got the gun right here, and then the next thing you know, you hear the gun go off. So I'm like, I hope that Xander killed himself, because Xander is a toxic piece of shit, and he does nothing but bring hell to anything he comes across, especially Cassie, because he's the reason why Cassie was such a mean bitch when we first met her, and why she was so temperamental, and why she was so combative. It was all because of all the trauma and shit she experienced with Xander, as well as issues with her family, which has been displayed as well. So yeah, I'm like, oh shit, that's what's up. So then we see that that Alex is sitting at the house. Oh yeah, let me do this. Oh yeah, so then we also see that Simone takes baby Davis. She's now at the house with at Carlotta's house. Miss Bruce comes in, and she was like, what's going on? She said that Noah had relapsed, and I'm keeping the baby. And she's like, I already talked about it with Angel, but she said this is a big responsibility. She's like, I'd rather have him with me than in the system, because Simone knows what that like, and she don't want that baby in the system like she was, because we seen all the craziness that Simone had to deal with, as well as Star, because they both were in the system. So we definitely see all that go on. So then we get a scene between Alex and Derek. Alex has set up this whole little love scene, but before Derek comes in, we can tell she's upset. She's probably upset dealing with what was going on with Star, what's going on with Gigi, and also the fact that Noah didn't appear at that ASA nomination party where they were supposed to perform So Sick together. Then all of a sudden, she has all these projectors. She's got the whole place decked out. Derek comes in. She sings to him. They dancing, going into the entire house. And it's like, it was a beautiful scene because it's great to see black love being displayed. And me, I like all forms of black love. Even, all the way down to the L, to the G, to the B, to the T, and to the motherfucking Q. I love black love in all formats. Because love is love in my book. Catch it. So they're going through the house, and in the song it's like she's saying I do, I do, I do. So in the way she's saying that, yeah, I want to marry you too. And then the next thing you know, after everything, she pretty much says that after what's going on with Star and what happened with Gigi, I don't want to take anything for granted. I don't want to wait for the crazy to stop because the crazy never stops. Yeah, life throws you curveballs, so she was real about that. And she pulls out a ring and gets down on one knee, and she proposes to Derek, and he accepts. So I was so happy that now Alex and Derek are now engaged. So then we get the last scene. Cassie comes in to Carlotta's house. Carlotta at first is like pissed, like, you went to go see Xander without me, didn't you? Where the hell have you been? And she was like, you know what? I gotta be real with you, sis. Xander was my devil, but Calvin is your devil. And she says, I went to see him in the hospital, and he revealed to me that the baby that you had at 15 is still alive. I did some research, and it's been confirmed that, yeah, the baby's still alive. She gives the folder to Carlotta, and Carlotta is pissed. So I'm like, yeah, Cassie had her devil. Now you got to deal with yours. You can't keep running from it. You need to deal with it. So that's where it ended. So I'm like, this is going to be interesting to see how all this unfolds. But that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms. I have them listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I'll be back with another episode of Star. So until next time, everybody, take care.